Does Nintendo hate YouTube, YouTubers, and the YouTube community? This has been a discussion for as long as I can remember. I've been in the video game journalism side of things for over 10 years now. Started out on a small website, moved on to a Nintendo-centric website, ended up leaving them, moving to YouTube full-time and making it a career in my job right now. So I've been around the block for quite a while. I've seen how Nintendo handles things on YouTube, how they handle situations with YouTubers, and right now there's a whole big discussion going on based on a did you know gaming video that was just pulled by Nintendo. So a lot of people are discussing this again. I might have made a video like this similar in the past, but I feel like it's still a relevant topic, especially with this new situation that's happening. So I want to talk about this from my perspective, from what I've seen throughout the years, how Nintendo has sort of shifted, and then come to some sort of conclusion as to whether or not Nintendo actually hates YouTube and YouTubers and the YouTube community. Now, you've got to remember something about Nintendo. The Nintendo that's now prevalent today, as far as YouTube is concerned, is not the same Nintendo as in years past. If you wanted to make videos about first-party Nintendo titles, you would have to do some pretty stupid stuff in order for it to happen. You would actually have to sign up for a program and then get accepted into that program if you wanted to show gameplay footage of first-party Nintendo titles. What made that even more bizarre was the fact that Nintendo actually took money from you in this program. So you got a portion of the money you earned from making that video, and Nintendo also got a portion just for showing their gameplay. I'm not talking about just simply uploading a trailer or something like that. You actually made this video yours. It's your gameplay footage. It's your thoughts that are being put into the video. And it was absolutely bizarre. And if you did not sign up for this program, which many people did not, what you would have to do is you would have to chop up the video that you showed in your gameplay footage or in your review of the game in order to get around that. You basically had about 10 seconds. You can actually watch some of my older videos on this channel, my video on Breath of the Wild, my video on Super Mario Odyssey, and see that there's about 10 seconds of gameplay, then it cuts back to me. That's simply because I didn't want those videos to get claimed by Nintendo, because in my mind, I didn't feel like they really had a right to do something like that. This is just simple gameplay that's being shown of your game where I'm talking over it. I'm giving my opinion and, essentially reviewing the game. And it was a weird situation because of the fact that it seemed like certain places got certain preferential treatment and other places, independent people, didn't. Your big websites, your GameSpots, your IGNs, they didn't seem to play by the same rules that everyone else did. GameXplain as well. Looking back at GameXplain, they really got a whole lot of notoriety because it seemed like they could do anything Nintendo related and still get paid for it and still have their channel make money, but independent sources or smaller people couldn't. I never quite understood it. I still don't really understand it till today. I don't know why that was. Of course, Nintendo did change up this policy, and that was a big win for YouTubers, but let's not act like this is something that happened a long time ago. This was just a few years ago where Nintendo was like, okay, you can use our gameplay, you can use our trailers in your video, and you don't have to worry about us copyright claiming them, so you can actually get paid for the work that you did. And this was a big win for the YouTube community, and everyone was very happy about this. It was kind of weird to be happy about something that should have been so basic, and just so easygoing, and something that shouldn't have been a problem with in the first place, but it was a big win for how Nintendo handled things. Now, throughout the years, I've had my run-ins with Nintendo myself on this channel. Beyond just the whole 10-second thing, there of course was the Metroid Dread situation where I managed to get an early copy of the game from a local store. I did a review for the game that went up after embargo, and they tried to take that video down because they felt that I did not have permission because I did not get a review copy directly from them. You could say that I was in the right, you could say that I was in the wrong with it. I did adhere to all of the rules put within the embargo, so I felt that I was in the right of this. But, there's people that said I was in the wrong. Okay, whatever. You can think that, and if that's what you think, then that's cool. I completely understand it because I'm the type of person to make, lemonade out of lemons. It was a stupid situation, in my opinion, that YouTube ended up siding with me on this and not the giant corporation. So, you know, I think I was at least to some extent in the clear with this. But of course, there's been other situations where music channels that put out a bunch of Nintendo music end up getting taken down for copyright claim stuff. This kind of situation I don't quite understand as much because of the fact that Nintendo does not offer a real way to buy soundtracks of their games or anything like that. So I don't see what their problem necessarily is with this. Oh, well, they're making money off that music. Okay, but Nintendo isn't trying to make money off of this music. It's not like you can get this music readily available from any other place, any other source to give Nintendo money. It's kind of like the whole ROMs and emulation thing. If you wanted people to be able to play these games, then you would have these games available for purchase in some way, shape, or form, or at least through an online service or something. Can you really get mad if somebody pirates a Wii game when you don't offer Wii games new anymore to consumers? It's a slippery slope situation. But the did you know gaming situation, I honestly think was different than all these other situations. The did you know gaming situation, basically they had made a video talking about a game called Heroes of Hyrule, which was a canceled Legend of Zelda style game. The game was supposed to be coming out on the Nintendo DS. It was kind of a tactics style game that ended up getting canceled. And what's interesting about this situation is the fact that there was actually concept artwork and stuff within this video, and that is essentially what got DMCA'd. Now, I did not see this video before it was taken down. It has been archived on other places, so I checked it out, and what I saw within that video was basically concept art, concept footage of this game, Heroes of Hyrule, that never came to fruition. Now, here's where I kind of have a problem with the situation, because there's two trains of thought with this. It's kind of like, well, how did you get this stuff? You know, how did you get this information? Was it given to you by an employee? I believe Retro Studios was actually working on this. Was this given to you off the record by an employee and you decided to share it? Because then I could kind of understand why Nintendo would go after this video, because of the fact that it has, you know, copyright material that maybe they paid for to have commissioned or something like that. They don't want to get that information out there. You know, that's definitely one way to think of it. But you also got to remember, there are websites right now that still have information of Heroes of Hyrule up on their website with, you know, some concept art for this game. And that should make you think something. Because at the end of the day, I don't think Nintendo hates YouTube and hates YouTubers like a lot of people seem to think. I just think they think lesser of the YouTube community. They think lesser of YouTubers in general and favor the big blog style websites or just websites in general. Because for some reason, that in their mind is still the most important thing, websites. That's why they want to work with so many websites. That's why, you know, paltry websites can get review codes of games, but YouTubers that cover a lot of Nintendo stuff with hundreds of thousands or even potentially millions of subscribers, they don't get anything from Nintendo because Nintendo does not prioritize them. And I hate to say this because people get so mad at me when I say this, but I feel like it's that old guard Japanese business mentality, and there's nothing wrong with that in theory, but the problem is that there's a lot of old heads at Nintendo. Nintendo still uses fax machines. Okay, they still use fax machines as of recently. Their business strategy is obviously sort of rooted in like 90s style stuff, early 2000s, as far as, you know, conveying stuff to the world. They've sort of adapted YouTube a bit, but this is where I wish Nintendo of America was more than just a marketing company, because I feel like Nintendo of America understands like YouTube stuff more so than Nintendo of Japan does, and how YouTube has taken over a lot of websites. A lot of people don't go to websites anymore. They just listen to their favorite YouTubers, such as me, talk about situations, talk about games, and convey the information out there. And I just feel like it's that old guard mentality that Nintendo is just so stubborn to get away from, because you should be embracing YouTube. You should be embracing this as a platform for essentially what's known as like free promotion for your games. Yes, I know there's the Nintendo Ambassadors program. I don't want to be a part of that program. I was sort of a part of that program when I worked at Nintendo Enthusiast, and I don't like that program. I don't like the way that they do things. It should just be like every other freaking company out there, where it's like, hey, you make reviews, you make content, here's a game, here's the embargo, Cover it if you want. If not, that's fine. You shouldn't have to sign up for all these stupid programs and all this sort of stuff. Like, make it simple. Have a marketing team. Like, what does Golan Harris do? Are they still a part of Nintendo? They used to be the people that handled Nintendo stuff back in my day, and they were super easy to work with. But you still had rules. You still had things that you could talk about, you couldn't talk about, which is fine. But I just feel like Nintendo is kind of stuck in an old, tiny mindset when it comes to things like YouTube. Because if they weren't, they would realize what a powerful tool this is, and how your traditional website is like your traditional newspaper. It's going away. The views are slowing down for these websites. That's why these websites have to do the crazy shit that they do. Whereas YouTubers, more people are enjoying this style of content. More people are enjoying being able to listen to someone and look at someone and be able to identify with that person and get in line with their viewpoints, and then become a fan of them and enjoy their work and enjoy their content. So I don't really think Nintendo hates YouTubers. I just think somebody at Nintendo of America needs to talk to somebody at Nintendo Japan higher up and be like, yo, this is how things work here. Okay, this is how things are going right now with younger people as far as consuming information is concerned. And, you know, I guess that's my thoughts on it. I really don't think they hate it. I just think they don't understand it. And when they look at a YouTube community, or they look at a YouTube page, they look at them as lesser than a website. And I don't think that there's anything out there that contradicts that whatsoever. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you feel that Nintendo is justified in not embracing the YouTube side of community creations and reviews and articles and stuff like that. You know, maybe I am. Let me know what you think of this in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit that bell notification. Go Knicks! Go Knicks! And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.